Oh no, the sky is falling! The sky is falling! It's the end of days! Oh no! Oh God, no! The second coming, guys. The second coming has been canceled. Ah! Run for the hills. The second coming has been canceled. For everybody out there who's been waiting for this, it's no longer happening. Oh, hope is lost. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. I wish I could turn my head around. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And before you jump out of a window, guys, the second coming that I'm referring to is not the biblical second coming, just the same way as I am not the biblical gospel according to Mark. That Mark spells his name with a K. I am the gospel according to Mark with a C. And what we're talking about is this article that I saw on NBCnews.com, and I want to get you guys' idea about this because I kind of feel like it's interesting, you know, the way that we're going with comics and movies and stuff like that. So I saw this article. I thought it was interesting. I'm going to share it with you. Apparently, there's this comic out there called Second Coming that was going to be put out by DC. It's no longer going to be put out by DC because, go figure, people found it offensive. Who knew? Who could have thought that a movie portraying Jesus as a sidekick, as a clueless sidekick who fell out of favor with God, who would know that that would be offensive? I would have never guessed it. Who'd have thunk? So anyway, guys, let me share this article with you, and you guys can tell me how you feel about this crap. All right, my son is in the other room, so, you know, if you hear some ruckus and all that stuff, I know he's just dying to get on camera again, but it's not going to happen until later. I have plans for that later. So, anyway, this article, NBCnews.com, of course, you will find it in the description box. You know what time it is. And it goes on to say, DC cancels comic book about Jesus Christ's second coming amid backlash. And it says, the second coming was centered on Jesus teaming up with a superhero named Sunman. Sunman, Sun God, Man Son, Son of God. We're not starting off so good. And it goes on to say, and this is by Minivan Burke. Minivan, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Minivan, you have an Yvonne, and then you have a Minivan Burke. The second coming of Jesus Christ will have to wait. DC Comics decided to cancel the release of a comic book titled Second Coming that featured Jesus as a sidekick of a superhero named Sunman, following a wave of backlash from online critics who labeled the book blasphemous. Shame, shame, shame. Okay. The co-creators of the comic, writer Mark, with a K, Russell, and artist Richard Pace, announced the cancellation last week on their Twitter pages. Perhaps it will be resurrected. It was scheduled to be released on March 6th. That's my mom's birthday. Mama, Mama, you know I love you, Mama. Oh, that's horrible. But I do love my mom, though, okay, with all me heart. Under DC Vertigo, a wing of DC which publishes comics with more of a graphic or adult tone. And he says, I guess this is Richard Pace, or writer Mark with a K, Russell, goes on to say, oh, this is Russell. He says, my goal was always to write the best books I can about the things I have a deep personal attachment to, Russell tweeted. Publishers have goals of their own. Sometimes our goals complement each other. Sometimes they don't. That's just the way it goes. It's okay to admit it when they don't, then go separate ways. In other words, what he's saying is, so let's leave it alone. 'Cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Ooh, oh, oh. Okay. In a separate tweet, Russell also asked for the rights back to Second Coming, and DC gracefully agreed. DC did not do anything untoward to me. he wrote. I don't even know if that's the voice I was using before. They've been a pleasure to work with, and it will still be released, albeit with a different publisher. Requests for comment from DC Comics were not immediately returned. They're like, man, leave me the hell alone with all that stuff. The 32-page comic is centered on Jesus returning to Earth and teaming up with Sunman to complete the most holy mission by God and learn what it takes to be a true Messiah of mankind, according to DC Comics. So they have Jesus Christ returning to Earth after all these years on a holy mission by God. He's like the Blues Brothers. We're on a mission from God. And learn what it takes to be a true Messiah of mankind, because apparently the whole getting crucified thing, the whole walking on water thing, the whole turning, rocks into bread thing, the whole turning water into wine thing, the whole raising the dead thing, all the miracle things, the whole virgin birth and all that stuff. That's not what it took. That wasn't enough for God to see, according to this comic, that you are the Messiah. Ooh, who's writing this? Doubting Thomas? Is that what it is? Doubting Thomas is ghost writing this. Judas is ghost writing this. Where is it? So he's learning what it takes to be a true Messiah of mankind. In January, a petition was launched on Citizen Go, on an online platform that promotes campaigns geared towards defending religious beliefs, calling on the publisher to cancel the series after Russell said in an interview that Christ was sent back to earth because God was so upset with Jesus' performance the first time that he kept him locked away. He was so upset with Jesus' performance that he kept him locked away. Can't imagine where that would offend people. No, no, no. No, 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 no. More than 234,000 people had signed the petition saying the comic book was inappropriate and portrayed Jesus as a clueless superhero sidekick. Of course, Jesus is portrayed as a clueless superhero sidekick because he's portrayed as a white man. There's only one way to portray a white man in 2019, and that is clueless. And they might have done better if they had portrayed Jesus, perhaps, I don't know, as a black man. But then the SJWs wouldn't get past the whole lynching thing. I mean, crucifixion thing. I don't think there's a win here no matter what you do. There's just no way to do it. So anyway, can you imagine the media and political uproar if DC Comics was altering and poking fun at the story of Muhammad or Buddha, the petition stated? Well, listen, I've studied Islam, and I've met some Muslims in my life, and I have a great respect for Islam. As a matter of fact, my very, 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 very best friend in the whole wide world in high school was from Pakistan. He taught me how to say Pakistan instead of Pakistan, and he was a Muslim, and his family, they were incredible people. And one thing I do know about the portrayal of Muhammad is that it's actually in Muhammad's contract that he is not to be portrayed on screen, on paper, on nothing. So that's usually the reason why a lot of Muslims get crazy bent out of shape about people illustrating Muhammad, because it actually says in the scriptures and in the Hadith and in the Quran that Muhammad is not to be illustrated, and definitely not God. And if you read the first commandment, I believe that in the Christian faith it's the same way. God is not to be portrayed in statues or any type of graven image. It's just a shame that people don't abide by that. So anyway, that's a little side note. Going on, this blasphemous content should not be tolerated. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. His story should not be ridiculed for the sake of selling comic books. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that, guys. You know what I mean? I just think, you know, it is crazy. Although we have a show on TV now called Lucifer, and it seems like Jesus should at least get equal time on TV or pop culture these days. You got Lucifer, you got The Omen, you got American Horror Story, all this demonic stuff that's on TV these days. We could use a little Jesus, I think, but not this way. That's just me. I don't know. The comment section is for you guys to weigh in on it, how you feel about it. Stuttering. Okay. Russell told Huffington Post that the outrage came before anyone even read the comic. In other words, give it a try. Come on, guys. What's a little blasphemy? Look at what we're trying to tell you, though. The message. Okay, he also said DC had requested changes to be made to the series that he and Pace were not comfortable with. Pace told fans in a tweet they're looking forward to announcing the new home for Sunman, Jesus, and their family soon. That's the end of the article, guys. So there you have it. Jesus is homeless. There will be no second coming. And that's what's going on. I don't know, guys. This is not the kind of thing that I personally find entertaining. I kind of think you should leave people's faith and beliefs alone. I know South Park has done this, and it's been very funny. There have been skits, plenty of people have taken their shot at showing the lighter side of Jesus and things like that. And I guess that's just the downside or part of what it takes to live in a free society where people are free to do these things without somebody chopping your head off. But, I don't know, guys. What do you think about this? DC has canceled The Second Coming. Do you actually think that it's a good idea to put out a comic like this? Of course, they have the right to do it. So before you get in the comment section telling me what they have the right to do, I understand they have the right to do it, okay? It's just a discussion. They have a right to do it. They have a right to do it. They have a right to do it. Now, why somebody get right into the comment section? What are you going on about, man? They have the right to do it. Anyway, guys. That's it for this particular topic. You guys can like, share, subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. Of course, I have a Twitter page you guys can check out. Some of you told me that you're not very big fans of social media. And dude, I crazily respect that. That's the reason why I haven't been on Twitter all this time. I just got on Twitter because it's going to help me to reach out to certain people that I'm trying to reach out to in the community, in the fandom and things. But listen, guys, we still have YouTube. You know what I mean? And also I'm on Patreon too, so you can check that out. And that's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on. So it is written. So it shall be done.